Hello, Eagle families. It's Mrs. Gearhart, and I am so excited to welcome you back for our 2020-2021 school year. It's hard to believe that it's been since March that we've had our students with us here on campus, and we are eagerly anticipating their return on August 17th for our first day of live in-person instruction at Fellowship Christian Academy. So I just want to say welcome back to those of you who are with us in the spring. We are eager and excited to continue growing together and having a hand in your child's education. We also want to say welcome to those of you who are new. We know we have many families that are new to Fellowship Christian Academy in kindergarten through 4th grade. We are very excited to welcome you guys to our school community. This past school year, we had 17 students on campus for FCA, and we knew as we were wrapping up last school year that we were looking at approximately 30 students for the upcoming school year. However, in March, whenever the governor made some announcements regarding to public school and what that would look like, we began to receive many inquiries from families seeking a private Christian education for their children. And we have been blown away and humbled and honored that we are now just under 50 students who are joining us at Fellowship Christian Academy, and we're looking forward to this upcoming year. So we just want to say welcome to all of you. Our hope and my hope and prayer is that those of you who are new to us, that you will taste and see the value of Christian education, that you will see your children grow in their education and their knowledge, but more importantly, spiritually this upcoming year, that they'll grow in the Lord. And we just pray that that will benefit your family and you personally in your walk with the Lord as well. So welcome. We're excited for all of us to be able to grow together this upcoming school year. I just want to thank you guys also for your patience and your understanding as we have been working as diligently and as hard as we can these last several months to make effective decisions for your families, to get information out to you, to enroll new students. There's been a lot on our plates, and so we are excited to be able to hopefully share some information tonight that will answer those last little questions for what the school year would look like. And we're just excited to jump in and get things up and going. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to jump into an information session that I would normally do in person at back to school night with you guys, and it just covers those nitty-gritty logistics that are going to help those first couple days of school run smoothly. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to go through some of these things. I will say this does not cover everything that you would need to know for the school year, and I am just sort of highlighting some of those details. So attached to the email that you received this video in, our parent handbook is going to be attached to that, and I do ask that you read through that in its entirety just to make sure that we're all on the same page, as many of us are coming from different schools. And for those of you who are returning, there are some updates and changes that we've had to make for this school year to run smoothly in light of COVID-19 and the growth that we've experienced. So I'm going to just pop some slides up on the screen for you, and I'm going to go through those as quickly as I can, just so that you have some details. I do ask, I'm hoping that you're watching this video before back to school night, and then if you have any questions, we will be happy to answer them for you when we see you at your back to school night tour. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop these screens up, and I'm going to rip off the Band-Aid, and we're going to jump right in with COVID-19 and what that looks like for our school opening. So we did release a COVID-19 reopening plan and shared that with families several weeks ago. Again, I just ask that you read through that in detail so you can see and understand what our school's policies and procedures are. Just a few things I wanted to highlight. Masks are welcome to be worn at any time that you're on our campus, but they are not required. We believe this is a personal choice that an individual can make and that a family can make for how they feel in regards to their personal health and safety. We will absolutely honor that request from any person to wear a mask, and will create an atmosphere at school in which students understand that there may be some children who wear them and others who may not. We are going to keep the students in groups by their classroom, so throughout the school day. So if your child is in our kindergarten classroom, the only students during the school day in this first part of the year that your child will interact with will be other students in kindergarten. Same thing if they're in 1st grade or 2nd grade, or if they're in our 3rd, 4th grade group. We've worked out our schedule so that we can try to keep our children in these small class sizes to mitigate any possible spread of COVID-19. In addition to that, we will be doing temperature screenings before school as well as before lunch for each of our students on campus. When your child arrives on campus each day, you will need to walk your child to their classroom door. We'll have traffic patterns that we'll share with you at Back to School Night to try to help everybody move where they need to on campus smoothly. But at the classroom door, the teacher will exit the classroom. She'll come outside. She is going to be masked during this time simply because she'll be interacting with a lot of different parents and close contact with children outside the classroom door. So you'll come out masked. We'll have a no-touch temperature reader, and we will check your child's temperature. If he or she is fever-free, the child will enter the classroom. The parent will then be able to exit campus, and once all children have had their temperatures screened and are in the classroom, the teacher will go in, and at that point she is welcome to remove her mask. And sort of in that classroom and in that bubble that we've created, that is not going to be a requirement. We ask that you possibly consider when you are coming on campus as parents and dropping your child off for school that you do maintain social distancing and space on the decks from one another. And if you feel comfortable wearing a mask as our staff will be interacting with you, we absolutely welcome that if you're interested. In addition to keeping the students in our small groups as well as temperature screenings, we will have increased hygiene and sanitation. We'll be asking kids to sanitize in and sanitize out with hand sanitizer each time they enter and exit the classroom. In addition, though, we'll be washing hands prior to any snack or lunch that they would be eating at school. In addition to that, we want to make families aware, and this is all spelled out exactly on our COVID-19 plan, but in the event of a child testing positive or a staff member testing positive for COVID-19, we will look into the possibility of classroom closures for cleaning and making sure that no other students, have developed any symptoms or testing positive. And so our hope in the plan that we have developed is that we will be able, if we got to that point, that we would be able to only close one classroom for a set amount of time, as opposed to needing to close the entire school, again, due to keeping students in those small group settings. In addition to COVID-19 and talking through all of these things, knowing that the public school system and what their school year looks like could change many different times throughout the year, we have created a contract that we are asking families to sign that states that as you have selected Fellowship Christian Academy for this school year, that regardless of what happens in the school systems around us, that your family is committed to your child attending Fellowship Christian Academy for the full year. We are doing this for consistency for all of our staff and students, and so that we can provide the best education to our students that are enrolled with us. So we will be asking families to sign a contract, and tuition will be due in full for the full course of the year. And our hope is that your children will remain with us all school year. Our priority in our reopening plan is health and safety, because we want to keep our doors open. We all know and value on our staff an in-person education is what's going to be best for the students that we have and the young population that we have. And so we are placing all of these measures in place so that we can have the best shot at staying open for the duration of the school year. All right, I'm going to jump into our calendar and our daily schedule. Each of you should have received a school calendar. It is published online on our website, and there will also be a hard copy of that available to you with your back to school night papers. That calendar has been modified from the initial calendar that would have been released in the spring this last year. So we do ask that you make sure you have the most up-to-date copy of that calendar, and we plan to follow that throughout this upcoming year. Each of the classroom teachers will provide more details for what daily instruction will look like in their classroom, and when different subjects will happen, and when their lunchtime is, and the like. So you'll be receiving that information from the classroom teacher. All of our specials are consistent across the entire school, and so I just have listed here for you. On Monday, our students will be receiving music with Miss Shingleton. On Tuesday, I will be teaching art. Wednesday, they will be having phys ed with Miss Anderson. So on Wednesdays, we ask that all students come wearing sneakers or tennis shoes for phys ed time. And then on Thursdays, they're going to be receiving a special called Missions with Miss Stiver. Missions is just a change in name as we've sat down as a staff and looked at what we would like this special to look like. Each of your children will receive a Becca Bible curriculum and instruction at the start of every school day. And so last year I taught a Bible special to your students. And it was such a joy and one of my favorite parts of the day that I got to do with them. And one of the best things that we were able to do in that time was to connect children with ways that they can live out their faith. And so our mission special is transforming just a little bit in the idea that we are going to be looking for ways that they can serve their community, that they can learn about what mission work looks like, and how we can honor the Lord and be a light in our community. So Miss Diver is very excited. We're coming up with different ways that we can live out our faith and serve those that are around us. So that is a new special and a little bit of adjustment that we've made from this past year, but we are very excited and have a lot of really neat things in the works for that mission special. And then as you'll notice, I don't currently have a special listed on Friday. Those of you who are with us in the past, on Fridays, we would travel to the Moore County Library for the children to be able to check out books from the library. But at this time, due to COVID-19, we are not able to do that. So on Fridays, when would normally be their specials time, the classroom teachers are going to use that for any little extra activities that they would like to complete with their students. It may be a reading time. It may be, an extra activity that went with the curriculum that they just couldn't fit in. But we're looking forward to hopefully one day getting back to our relationship with the Moore County Public Library and getting our children back over there. But again, due to COVID-19, we had to modify that slightly. All of our specials teachers are very excited, and we're just looking forward to getting to add some more enrichment to your child's school day, as well as giving those classroom teachers a break in the day so that they can continue planning for that core academic instruction. Okay, communication. What is communication going to look like? Your classroom teachers, each teacher will provide information for you in regards to how they will communicate things like homework and class-wide newsletters and the like. And so each classroom, that may look a little bit different. Stay tuned for what your classroom teacher shares with you. This year, our school-wide communication is all going to come via email. So in the past, we have used a school-wide app, but we felt that this year, just email would be our best bet for families. So any school-wide communication, tuition reminders, large school events, anything like that we're able to do, that information will come via email just as it has through this summer. In addition, if we would have to have a delay or close school due to inclement weather or anything related to COVID-19 or the like, that will come through your email. So I do ask families that you get a regular habit of checking your email, as that will be our primary form of school-wide communication. In addition, we do have a Facebook page that we would post if we had to close for a delay or something like that on the Facebook page. But that page will primarily be used for advertising, sharing with the community things that we're doing. And again, your primary communication will be coming through email. Our first conferences of the year are on November 3rd. And so this first part of the year, we'll be getting to know your children and their academic needs, and then working on those things with them. And that first conference on November 3rd will be a great time for the teacher to share the observations that they've made for the upcoming year, and the things that we can continue to work on with your child. All right, let's see, what slide do we have next? Okay, daily school supplies. So each day we ask your child to come with their backpack and the things inside that they would need. So that is going to, we also want you to make sure that your child is dressed comfortably and in weather appropriate clothing. All shoes must have backs on them. I am going to tell you that the playground is tan bark, and so sneakers truthfully are your best choice on most days so that tan bark isn't getting in their shoes. But again, shoes must have backs on them. We ask children to be comfortable for the school day so that they can focus on their learning and their academics, and appropriate based on the weather. Every child is asked to bring a reusable labeled water bottle. We do ask for that to be sent full each day, as the classrooms don't have water access in them, and our water fountains, we do have those closed due to COVID-19. So we ask that you send a full labeled water bottle. Our classroom teachers will have the ability to refill those for them, but we ask that to be sent each day. Each child is asked to bring a snack item from home, And we do ask that that be a healthier item rather than cookies or treats. It's to kind of just give them that nutritious boost to get through those longer parts of the day. In terms of their snack and their lunch, we do need to send a packed lunch to school each day. We are a peanut-free campus. We do have several children at Fellowship Christian Academy who have a severe peanut allergy. So we do ask that you leave those peanut butter sandwiches and peanut butter cups for special treats on the weekend. And so that we can just maintain the health and safety of our precious students on campus. So again, bring that backpack, have the students dressed comfortably with appropriate shoes, a labeled water bottle, a snack, and then that packed lunch for the school day. Okay, our drop-off and pickup procedures. Again, in our COVID-19 world, there's many differences and changes, so we're going to run through these and we'll work out all the kinks those first couple days of school. So we are going to ask all of our students to please use the bathroom and wash their hands prior to leaving their house this year. We'd love you to get into a great routine of that being the very last thing they do before they load up in the car. Hey, use the bathroom, wash your hands, and then when the children come onto campus, as I mentioned before, there will be temperature checks. We ask that you please stay in your car until 7:50. At 7:50, our classroom teachers will be stepping outside, and at that time, we ask that you approach your child's classroom door, wait in a socially distant line, following our traffic patterns that we'll explain to you at Back to School Night. And we are hoping that we can get into a quick, easy routine of just checking the temperature of each child and allowing them into the classroom. Parents, many parts of our modular campus are covered with a roof over top, but some of the doors and the ways that we have to follow our traffic patterns to try to keep everybody sort of spaced out, we do ask that you just keep an umbrella in your car in the event of rain, that we can just sort of get you up there, get the child checked and in the classroom. We are hoping that this temperature check procedure will work well for our school and staff, but please know if we find any kinks or things aren't working, we are absolutely open to adjusting things. So our classroom teachers will open the doors at 7:50 a.m. We are hoping that we can get all of our children through the temperature check line and into the classroom by 8 or 8:05 in the morning. We know that may take a little bit of time. And again, they will sanitize in with a squirt of hand sanitizer, head in, get unpacked. That teacher will come into the classroom, remove that mask, and we'll have a wonderful day of learning all together. That is our drop-off procedure. And then our pickup procedure is that we are going to, at 3 o'clock, ask you to pop out and wait outside your child's classroom door, again in a socially distant line. Students will be released at 3 p.m. and we are only able to release your children to people who are authorized individuals on their registration form. So if your neighbor happens to be picking up your child one day or something like that and they're not listed on your form, we will need you to call the school so that we can notify staff and be prepared for that pickup. If your child is attending after school, at 3 p.m., they will be taken over to their after school location. Okay, so what happens if we are outside of that window? After all of our students have received their temperature check and by 8:05 in the morning, all classroom doors will be shut. There will be a sign on the door and they will be locked. At that time, if you're running late that morning, we are going to need you to come over to the office, which is located in the Dome building, and we are going to do our temperature check there. We are going to sign your child in. We're going to give them a tardy slip. We'll notify the classroom teacher, and then the parent will need to walk them over to the classroom. We are very, very hopeful, and we ask parents that you do your best at getting your children here to Fellowship Christian Academy by 8 o'clock in the morning. It is a priority for us for children to be here for the full school day, and we know as educators that it is best for children to have consistency in the mornings. And so we're going to work together to get our children here and in those classroom doors so the teachers can start that classroom instruction, and each of our children can have a smooth start to the school day. So again, if you are running late, you will need to come to the Dome. We will get you everything that you need and get you on your way to drop your child off. The same thing is going to be if you need to pick your child up prior to 3 p.m. Again, you will need to report to the Dome first. We will sign your child out and notify the classroom teacher that you are coming over to pick them up. We do ask that pickups prior to 3 p.m. only be done in the instance of an appointment or a family trip or things of the sort. Children are expected to be at school until 3 o'clock each and every day. Due to COVID-19, at least the first quarter of this school year, classroom visitors will not be permitted. We'll continue to reevaluate our COVID-19 opening plan throughout the course of the year, and we hope that later in this year we can get some of our parents and volunteers back in the classroom. But again, just for our hope and priority of being open, we are going to limit who is able to be in the classroom. All right, next up, tuition, my least favorite topic to go through with families. There's this cute little picture on your screen with a smiley face. That smiley face is where our tuition lockbox is located. We ask that your tuition payments be placed in that lockbox for any tuition payment that need to be made for our campus. All right, as of right now, our tuition payments can be cash or check. And they are payable if you write a check to Fellowship Christian Academy. We know that many of you have asked if there's an online payment option, and at this point we don't have that developed. It is something that we've been discussing and are hopefully working towards. But as of right now, we are going to be using our lockbox. We ask that you write your child's name on the memo line, as we have many students between all of our different ministries. That just helps us keep everybody straight. So if you could write, if your child's name was Rowan Gearhart, we just ask that you write that on the memo line and then what the payment is. So if it's Rowan's March tuition payment, I would write Rowan Gearhart March tuition on the memo line of my check. Cash payments must be filled out, and they can be placed in the Dropbox. There are envelopes, that must be filled out so that we know exactly who that payment is for and what it should be applied to. You guys have each selected different payment options, and we'll review those with you at Back to School Night to make sure we're on the same page, whether you are paying monthly, whether you are paying in full for tuition, or a fall and spring payment. Also, to our scholarship families, are many of you who have a scholarship through the NCS EAA, and we are hoping to have your remaining balance paid in monthly payments from August through May. So we'll talk with you about that at Back to School Night and work up exactly what that plan would look like. But for our scholarship families, we are hoping to have monthly payments so that we don't get a backlog at the end of the school year. Okay. Before care and after school updates. So we are excited. We are still going to be able to offer before and after care to your children. Before care begins at 7 a.m. and that is located in the MPR. That's our multi-purpose room, which is in the Dome building. They will get their temperature checks when they're dropped off, and they will need to be signed in. Our before care runs from 7 to 8, and that does cost $20 weekly. That is just a place where the children can be dropped off. We'll have our before care leader in there if you would like to send breakfast with them, and that helps you. That's completely fine. They may come and they may eat breakfast. We'll have some quiet table activities. Then we'll do the bathroom washing hands routine before taking them over to their classroom. This year, our after-school care does have to look different than it has in years past. We are very excited about this. However, our after school for Fellowship Christian Academy will not be participating with our church-wide after school program for the upcoming year. Again, due to COVID-19 and our hopes to kind of create a bubble around our Fellowship Christian Academy students, we are going to remain on our side of the campus, and our after school care program is going to also be incorporating a day camp piece of it. So for scheduling, for keeping our students separate from children that are coming from all over the district in different schools, we did make the decision to separate, at least for the start of the school year, our aftercare program from the church-wide program that they have participated in the past. So after school will still run until 6 o'clock for those of you families who need that aftercare. It will be located in the Purple Door Modular. So as opposed to other locations where you've picked them up, they will be picked up in the Purple Door Modular. There will be a sign out. The aftercare worker will sign your child out. And we did have to, because of this decision that we made to have to operate our own, we did need to raise the cost by $5 per week. In years past, it's been $20 weekly for aftercare, but we do need to make that $25 weekly simply to make our ends meet. It is still a deep discount compared to what students from the public school pay for our aftercare program, and it's just $5 a day. It's just under $2 an hour per child for care. We are looking forward to that. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for us, so we just ask that you be patient as we work out the kinks for this upcoming school year, but we are thankful that we're still able to provide before care and after care to those students who need it. Next thing, beginning of the year forms and paperwork. So parents, after back to school night, there's going to be a little bit of stack of papers and forms that we need filled out from you. Part of that is, again, reading that full updated handbook for the 2020-21 school year. We will ask that any of the forms that are sent home with you, that you please fill them out over the weekend and return them to us to your classroom teacher as soon as possible, so we can get things filed and make sure that we have the most up-to-date information for your family. All of those forms will be included for you. If your child has an allergy or other significant medical concern like asthma or something that we would need to have a specific plan for, we are going to give you a medical action plan at back to school night. We'll ask you that at our welcome table. There'll be a specific paper that you need to fill out for that. And then we make sure that our classroom teachers as well as our office staff are aware of their specific needs, and we will talk with families individually for what that may look like. And then again, in that beginning of the year paperwork, something that's new for our families is that contract for this school year that your child will remain with us throughout the course of this upcoming school year. Okay, I think I highlighted many of the different details for this upcoming year. And just to get us up and going, I know there's many more details that we will share as we get through the first days and weeks of the school year. But the next thing, if you've watched this video and if you've stayed with me this entire time, is our back to school night tours. This is a little bit different, again, than in years past. Typically we're all together and I'm sharing this in the auditorium, and then kids are dispersing into the classrooms all together. But again, in light of social distancing, you have signed up for a tour on Thursday evening. We ask that you come to Thursday evening wearing a mask. We ask that all family members do that, again, just because of the number of people that our staff will be coming in contact with that evening. We really want to reduce any risk of any possible COVID-19 spreading. Our staff will be wearing masks that evening. I'll be wearing one at the welcome table. So again, we just ask that you wear yours. Please check in at our welcome table about 5 minutes prior to your scheduled tour time. At the table, we are going to make sure that you are up to date on all tuition payments based on the plans that your family selected, and school and book fees are due at back to school night. If your child is in kindergarten, your school and book fee is $300. First through fourth grade, that's going to be $400, and that is simply for the curriculum that we have purchased and sorted and have ready for this upcoming year. We do need all tuition and school and book fees paid on back to school night. Again, we'll have a form at our welcome table just verifying before and after care if that's a need for your family. We'll have our medical action plans, and then we will give you directions for those of you who are new to campus for your classroom tours. After you meet with us at the welcome table, we'll head you on. You will be able to go into the classroom with just your family. You'll be able to meet the classroom teachers, see the space, ask any specific questions that you may have, and then say, we will see you that first day of school. We do ask them that you quickly stop back by the welcome table for a sweet treat. Those of you who have enrolled with us earlier this summer should have received a reading log, and we ask that children bring their completed reading log back to school. If you are thinking, I'm not sure what Mrs. Gearhart is talking about right now, still stop back by our welcome table. We'll ask a few quick questions about reading this summer and have a sweet treat to share with each of our students following their classroom tour. Okay, we're getting there. All right, so I just want to sort of let everybody know where the classrooms are located and who the teachers are. Our kindergarten classroom is led by Miss Howerton, and that is in our gray door modular. Our first grade this year will be led by Miss Brown. She's going to be in our new modular on campus, and we are going to be calling that the white door modular. Second grade is led by Mrs. Baumgardner, and that's going to be in the orange door modular on campus. And then our third, fourth grade is going to be led by Miss Coble. That is also going to be in the orange door on campus. However, you're going to enter from the outside door. We'll direct everyone to those locations, but that'll sort of be where everyone is meeting. And then we are also very, very excited to announce that we have just hired a full-time assistant for Fellowship Christian Academy. Her name is Miss Diver. We're excited. She should be at back to school night. We're excited for each of you to meet her. She will be working with a variety of the classrooms. She'll be providing support to Miss Coble in providing both 3rd and 4th grade curriculum within one classroom. She'll be providing support to Ms. Howerton with those kindergartners, and then also, again, available to 1st and 2nd grade. She'll be with us full time, and we're really looking forward to having her with us on campus. Okay, I am going to close out my slides. I'm going to pop back in here with you guys just to see you for one more quick moment. I know that was a lot of information, and again, we are all going to work hard together. We're going to extend grace as we go into this new school year and work through some of these logistics with our COVID-19 reopening plan and how exactly we are all going to get our children to their classes. But rest assured, once they are in those classes, our staff has been I have been so proud of them in the way that they have been working to meet the needs of your children and prepare for this school year. We know it's going to be one for the record books, but we are honored and excited that you have selected FCA for your child. On a personal note, I have one more bit of information to share with you guys. Many things have been on the table for myself personally for the upcoming school year, as my husband this last October had accepted a position in Aberdeen, and our family will be moving later this fall to Aberdeen. So while I'm excited to share that I am still going to remain connected at Fellowship Christian Academy through teaching art, and then in the role of Director of Admissions and Advertising, I will be stepping down later this fall from my role as Director of Education for Fellowship Christian Academy and Little Promises. I am very excited to announce that Miss Patty Cridland is going to be stepping into my role. She has been shadowing with me for the last several weeks and has done a phenomenal job in helping us pull together the details for this school year. So Miss Patty Cridland will be at Back to School Night and eager for you guys to get to know her. She is kind of shadowing me right now while we're getting things up and running. She's going to help get Little Promises preschool started here in just a few short weeks, and then I will really be training her on the ins and outs of administration at FCA. So for those of you who have been here, I am going to attach a letter to this email just explaining a little bit more of my heart and that went into this decision, but I have been honored and humbled to be in the role that I've been in, and I'm very excited to stay connected at Fellowship Christian Academy and know that we have a staff and a community that are just excited to continue what we started several years ago. So very excited for you guys to meet Patty. Again, I'm just going to include a letter from myself with a little bit more detail, as I love many of your families dearly, dearly, and just want to share that with you guys for what is ahead for me and my family. So again, thank you for listening to this long video about our upcoming school year and some of the logistics. One of the things that I was most saddened that we're not able to do together collectively is what we call convocation. And typically we would gather together, we would pray over our school year, and we would just have a short time of worship and sort of dedicating the year to the Lord. And so I am going to encourage each of your families to set aside a time this weekend where you can just have a time of prayer and thanking the Lord for our school, for our staff, to pray a hedge of protection around them, and just really committing this year to Him and thanking Him for the blessing that it'll be. So we ask that each of you do that individually. We'll be doing that in our homes and as a staff. We've been doing that for weeks. If you are interested, our church, New Covenant Fellowship, will be meeting at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. This weekend, and we do take a time every school year to pray over students, over staff, over parents as we move into a new school year. So that's just something that we encourage each of you to do. We look forward to seeing you at your Back to School Night tour, and we are just beyond excited for this upcoming school year with our Eagles. Hope you guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon.